Hello, we're starting the fast with the church. I wanted to tell you a quick story about Martin Luther. He had a saying, I have too much to do today to not spend 3 hours with God. It's important. I have a good friend who runs data systems. It's a huge data system, has thousands or 10,000s of people that input the data into it. It froze up. Very high executives are calling him, yelling at him. They're 2 hours into this collapsed system. And finally he said, I'm going to shut my phone off. It does not help me resolve this situation with all of you just calling and yelling. He told all his engineers underneath him from all over the world, you're just going to have to let me work on it for a little while. Shut off his phone, humbled himself for a minute before God, and said, God, I know you're awful smart. Can you help me with this? He gave him the code. He typed the code in, entered it. The system took off and ran. We're all too busy to not put God first in the morning. Your day will go so much better. We were really humbled in a Bible class the other day, hearing about a Nigerian woman who drug herself with her legs that didn't work 1.5 miles and was the first one to the church every meeting. That should make us all think about what we would give up to get closer to God and more in tune. Martin Luther took on the world, the religious world and the political at the same time. The other end of his day, he would stand at the window and he'd look out and he'd say, God, are you still in control? God would tell him yes. And he'd say, very well, I'm going to bed. It's yours.
Very good. So you can see that Martin Luther consecrated himself to the Lord first part of his day. And that's the message that Pastor Alan and Eric wanted us to focus on, being consecrated to the Lord individually and as a church. And the word consecration, I looked up in the Hebrew, and it's mainly talking about the priesthood being consecrated, set apart to God. But it means to fill and to be full of, take fully over. And when I thought of the word consecration, to me, what comes to mind is an old hymn that I learned, and I know a lot of people don't like hymns, but there's a lot of good doctrine and truth, and it was written by Frances Ridley Havergale. And it said that she was called the consecration poet. It said that she lived a beauty of a consecrated life, and it was never more perfectly revealed than in her daily living. She had rightfully been called that consecration poet. The little couplets chimed in my heart one after another, Frances Havergale said. She said, it passed in pursuing to it, and it happened a night I was wanting a deeper relationship with God. And so she started writing, take my voice and let it be always only for my King. And so it says that she really lived what she wrote too, because the other verse that she wrote said, take my lips and let them be filled with messages for thee. Take my silver and my gold, not a mite would I withhold. Not a mite would I withhold. And it said that she had actually taken 50 pieces of her jewelry and sold them to raise money for a mission organization, a church missionary house that was to be used for evangelizing the lost. So, and it said that she did that with great delight. So, as I said, I just feel like that really expresses some deep truths that we need to take to heart and be filled with. I pray that all of us, individually and as a church, we can be consecrated to God, be fully filled with His truth and that desire to spread God's word. Thanks. Bye.